Hi everyone. I know I promised in an earlier video to get back to you on some of my favorite wearable fitness bands, and I wanted to share with you a couple more to include before. If you're making last minute holiday choices, you can still do that, or maybe you're just making some decisions for after the first of the year when you're going to make those New Year's resolutions or not. However you do it, it's always good to wear one of these, I think, even if you are a runner like I am. What's interesting here is that this is the Garmin's VivoFit, which will upload to their app, and I like that feature. I also like that you can see how many steps you've taken. It will even flip to a number of screens, which will show you how far away you are from meeting your daily goal. What I find interesting is that it's only given me a goal of like 6,000 steps, and it bases, you can set it to, you can determine it manually, or you can allow the app to determine it for you. And I used to do 10,000 steps when I was just a walker, no problem, because I would commit to that hour or more every day of walking. But I run because you can get the same calorie burn in half the time, and of course, you know, I like shortcuts. I'm a lazy vegan, as some of you may know, and so I'm just trying to squeeze everything into a short period of time. But I like that it displays this, and you can manually set the goal too. So that is the good news about the Garmin VivoFit. The bad news is it's got, as many of these do, it's got a little button there that you press, and you press this one, as you will see now, it'll say sync, and then if you keep holding it down, sleep. I'm going to go past that. You can pair it with your device. The problem with all of that is that you can't see this button when you go to sleep, and you can't see if it's gone into the right function or not, so I tend not to hit it. You can kind of guesstimate at it, but it's not as accurate as some of these other wearable fitness products. This one is the Fitbit, and Fitbit has a number of different watches, or bands rather, that you can wear now. This one only flashes there when you hit your goal. So there are more expensive ones that will have a readout. Those just came out, I believe. So this is one of the older models I got earlier this year. What I like about it is that it automatically uploads to the phone without you having to do anything. What I didn't like about it is the charge, as is the case with the Jawbone Up Band right here, the blue one, is that they only last, I don't know, a week to 10 days, and then you gotta remember to charge it to the phone. The VivoFit lasts for a year, and I'm not totally clear what happens after a year. If you gotta replace the battery, I assume so, but you can't recharge it to anything. But like on the Up Band here, you gotta plug this into the computer, and also the same thing as far as uploading the information. However, they have the Up 24 now, which does use Bluetooth technology, as these other ones do, to upload to the computer, so you don't have to really think about it. When you go to sleep, you press this button here, and then there'll be flashing lights that will let you know you are in sleep mode. So that avoids the problem that I was describing earlier with the VivoFit. A lot to think about, and just the important thing is that you keep track of it all. All of these other bands have their own apps, but Garmin actually connects through Garmin Connect, so if you've already using one of their sport watches like I have here, and this is what I run in. This is the 210, the Garmin Forerunner series. I like those. You know, some people say, oh, too many electronics, but you know what, I used to write all this stuff down. So for the OCD among us who like to keep track of this stuff, and I kind of say that a little bit self-deprecating, but I think it really is important for you to keep a record so that you know what your baseline is, and if you want to improve, you have something to measure it against, because ultimately, you're really only racing against yourself. So I hope that's helpful as you look for some holiday shopping ideas, either for yourself or somebody else. And just remember that you can do all this, adjust on plans. I did not place in a race I did this week. It was the Jingle Bell Run. These happen all over the country where they give you bells, or you can bring bells to attach to your feet. And the race I did, I actually placed 7th in my age group out of 50 gals who were in my age group, so I felt pretty good about that, especially because there was a period where we were running where it was very dark. It was beautiful, because the only thing you could really hear or sense were the bells, but I did slow down quite a bit so that I would run safely during that stretch. And if you have an opportunity to do one of those races, usually they're sponsored by the Arthritis Foundation, and you know, we're all about getting the word out, especially how vegans don't generally have arthritis. Not a total guarantee, but I always like to go to those kinds of mainstream events and wear my bright vegan shirts. All right, you have a wonderful holiday season and a great new year if you don't see me till after the new year. And just get out there, do something, get fit, on plants. Gotta run.